Recently, in my membership community, I led the members through a how-to lesson in order for them to shift from overthinking to a clear mind. All of us experience the process of overthinking at least once in our lives, and that overthinking can be filled with worry and stress and trying to figure out how to make a decision or trying to control something that is out of our control. I think it's really great to know how to do something, but in this particular instance, I think in order to stop your pattern of overthinking, you first need to understand why you are doing it. That is exactly what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Because when you know the real reason of overthinking, you will be able to lead yourself to feeling empowered in your life. If you want to feel empowered rather than be stuck in that overthinking process, then stick with me on this video. Hello, my name is Sydney and I'm a spiritual mentor. If you're new to my channel, then thank you so much for pressing play on this video, and I really hope that it supports you in your journey of understanding who you are as a spirit, who you came here to be. Maybe it'll help you in connecting to the universe. And it most definitely will help you in healing your past pain or some of the shadows of fear that you've been carrying. If you've been part of my community for a while now, as always, thank you so much for being here. I love having you part of my community. Let's jump right into today's topic. As I said, we're talking all about the real reason that you are overthinking. Okay, we're not talking about the problem at hand. So if you're overthinking about your financial worries, if you're overthinking about something about your career or your love life or your health or your family or your own insecurities, that's not the real reason, right? That's just the problem at hand. I'm talking about the root cause that leads to all of your worries and every single time you're overthinking. That is the real reason why you are overthinking. That's what we're talking about today. So before I explain that real reason, I want to explain a little bit about our human experience. Now, if you're on your spiritual journey, then there's a good chance you already know this. If you're new on your spiritual journey, then this might be new information for you. Or the way that I word it and explain it might be a bit of a different perspective for you to look at it. The human experience is the mind, the body, and the spirit. And I believe that in order to follow our soul path, we need to learn how to live in alignment with all three of those. Living in alignment, mind, body, spirit. Now, what are they? Well, your mind is your ego. It's free will. It's your intellect. It's your logic. A lot of us already know that. The mind is the thoughts that we think, where we process all of the information. We gather the logic, we gather the intellect, and we try to make sense of it, right? It's where we have free will. We get to decide. We get to choose whatever we want. Someone might tell us to do something, but through our mind and free will, we choose to do something else. It's also our ego. We can feel like we are either in power or we are not in power based on our ego thoughts. So that's kind of what houses the mind. The body is your emotions. This is where you feel pain, you feel sadness, you feel anger. Your body is where you feel joy, where you feel peace, where you feel excitement. That all happens in your body. It's a feeling. Your body is also the actions, right? Your mind can think based off free will, but your body is what acts. It's what moves forward. Your body is also what holds all of the energy, every single thing. So if you've experienced something in your past that maybe caused a lot of sadness and you didn't actually process through that emotion, your body holds on to the energy of that pain, of that situation. So oftentimes our body and our mind can be misaligned based off of pain that's unhealed. So if we're moving into a situation and we take logic, which comes from past experiences, so maybe we've experienced something similar before and it caused us pain or hurt, but we haven't processed that pain or hurt, we haven't healed that emotion. Our intellectual mind is gathering information based off of the energy in our body, which is unhealed, right? It's gathering a decision, free will. It's having all those ego thoughts based off of something that happened in the past, where you felt an emotion and you didn't properly process the emotion, and your body is holding onto that energy. So there can be misalignment in our mind and in our body in that instance. Now, the third thing that is part of our human experience is the spirit. You are a spirit that has a mind and has a body, right? The mind and the body is what makes it a human experience. And it's important to remember that spirit is still part of this human experience. Spirit is the consciousness that experiences life through the mind and the body, right? You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the consciousness that hears the thoughts. You are the consciousness that feels the emotions. Okay, that's spirit. Spirit also houses your passion, right? Whatever you're really passionate about, that comes from your spirit. Spirit also houses the love, right? As a spirit, you are created from love. And so that is innately part of you. Spirit is also connection. It's not only how you connect to yourself and how you connect to the world around you, but it's the connection that you have to the universe. We were all created from the same source. So spirit is what reminds us of that connection. And lastly, spirit is where your wisdom lies. The beautiful thing about wisdom is that you can gain wisdom in this lifetime. You also carry wisdom from past lifetimes. Now, in order to gain wisdom from this lifetime, you have to move through an experience that has an emotional reaction, so that's your body. When you heal through or process that emotional reaction, you gain information, you gain logic that is stored in your mind, right? So we've got the body, we've got the mind. When we learn to integrate this information into how we behave moving forward, when it's from a healed space, that information from an experience we've had in the body turns into wisdom. And we embody that wisdom from a supportive and healthy pattern. So when you are living in alignment, mind, body, spirit, the idea is that you move through experiences, whether they're good or bad, that has an emotional reaction based on your body. When you process those emotions, you learn a lesson through your mind. When you take that lesson and you integrate it into your values, into your habits, into your behaviors in a positive and supportive way, that information from the experience turns into wisdom that you carry. Okay, so now that we have a better understanding of the human experience and the difference between mind, body, and spirit, what is the real reason that you are overthinking? Well, overthinking is the process of only living from your mind. I'm not saying that when you're overthinking, it means at all times you're living from your mind only. I'm saying when you're overthinking, you're forgetting about your body, you're forgetting about your spirit, and you're only living from your mind in that moment. And that's what leads to the overthinking process. You think, I need to gather all this information, I need to process this information, I need to take this information, and I need to make a decision based off of free will from this information. And that's what makes the wheels just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. You're overthinking because you're only living from your mind. So you need to come back into your body, back into your spirit. Because living from your mind is extremely limiting. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons as to why living from your mind is limiting. Number one, logic and intellect is built from the past. You gather logic and intellectual information based off of what you've already experienced. Right? Maybe some of the logic or intellect that you gain is based off of what your parents have experienced in the past. They're teaching you a lesson because they've already experienced something. Now, the future is not meant to be defined by your past. The future can be different. The future can bring different experiences, new lessons, new opportunities. Blessings can flow into your life in a different way. So if we live only from logic and only from intellect, we're limiting ourselves in what the future could entail because we haven't lived it yet. So we don't have that information. We don't have that knowledge to include in our concept of intellect and logic. So if we only live from our mind, it's extremely limiting. And the second reason why living from your mind is extremely limiting is because, as I said earlier, your mind is where your ego's housed, right? And your ego lives in survival mode, okay? So survival mode is this concept that you're simply just trying to survive. You're trying to stay alive. That's what it means to survive, okay? When your ego is in survival mode, when you're living from your mind and your ego's in survival mode, your ego is simply just trying to keep you safe and alive. So the information that you're processing and the choices that your ego thoughts are leading you through is, I'm not safe, I'm not safe, I'm not safe. How do I figure out how to be safe? Now, because of the past pain that you may have experienced and the energy that your body is holding from unprocessed emotions, your ego can tend to believe that you are unsafe all of the time. Okay, because if there's been moments in your life where you've been disconnected or misaligned and you haven't processed the emotions from a past experience, your ego mind is thinking, believing off of the energy that your body is carrying. And the energy that your body is carrying is unsupportive, right? It's not good energy because it's unprocessed, unhealthy emotions. Right? So your ego is saying, I'm not safe because of an emotion that you experienced in the past that you haven't processed through yet. So you haven't been able to take this experience from the past with the emotion, heal the emotion, gather new information, and come back into alignment. So learning the difference between being unsafe and being uncomfortable is what allows you to shift from making decisions from survival mode, which is your ego, into creation mode, which is your spirit. Your spirit wants you to grow. It wants you to evolve. And in order to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to step out of your comfort zone. But when you're living from survival mode and your ego's telling you that this is unsafe, this is unsafe, this is unsafe, you tend to believe that what feels uncomfortable is also unsafe. And that's what keeps you from living in your mind. Okay? So in order to live in alignment, mind, body, spirit, live from creation mode, you got to feel uncomfortable sometimes. Now, a lot of us have a fear of feeling our emotions and a fear of the unknown, which ultimately stops us from living in alignment, mind, body, spirit, right? Body is the emotions. The unknown, heading into the uncomfortable, the unknown, that is when our spirit is leading us forwards. We have to trust. So when those fears are so strong, we stay in our mind, which inevitably keeps us in the space of overthinking. It leads us in this, as I said, perpetual state of overthinking and living from our mind. So that is the real reason why you are overthinking, because you're living from your mind in this moment. If you want to experience peace in your life, peace is felt. It's not thought. Joy is an emotion. Fulfillment is a feeling. Purpose comes from following your passions. So if you desire peace, if you desire joy, if you desire fulfillment, if you desire purpose, you need to learn how to live from your body and your spirit, not just your mind. Okay? If you want to learn the how-to shift from overthinking to a clear mind so you can live in alignment, mind, body, spirit, then you should check out my meditation membership. There's an entire month of training that is solely focused on teaching you how to shift from overthinking to a clear mind. In the meditation membership, every single month, there's a brand new theme for the spiritual lessons that we are moving through. And it really focuses on supporting and guiding you on your spiritual journey through healing, learning about energy, connecting with the universe, finding your soul purpose, and most importantly, creating more peace and self-love in your life. So if you're interested, check out the link below so you can learn more about the membership and maybe join today. I also have a bunch of free offers if you want to check them out. A few different mini books, one on shadow work, so it teaches you a little bit more about shadow work, and I have one on spiritual awakenings, and it gives you some great tips on spiritual awakenings and what you need to know. I also have some meditations and some free spiritual lessons. So if you want to get some of these free goodies, then head to the link below and sign up to receive all of the freebies that I am offering. I really hope that this video has brought guidance into your life so you can start to understand a little bit more why you are overthinking, so you can start healing some of those patterns and behaviors, so you can start living from a clear mind and living in alignment, mind, body, spirit. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below while you're at it. Let me know what you liked or what aha moment you had from this video. That's all that I have for you this week. I will be back next week with a brand new video. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful day, week. I just hope that you have a wonderful life. Bye, friends.